Senator Klobuchar.
Thank you very much. I'm going to focus on our Minnesota nominee, but thank you to the other nominees as well. Judge Bryan, prior to your decade of service on the bench, you served as an assistant U.S. attorney in Minnesota, where you prosecuted over 350 defendants. Law enforcement officers that you worked with said you will make, in their words, an outstanding federal judge. As case agents, they wrote that we knew that he treated every case as his highest priority. We believe that he will do the same for each of the matters assigned to him as a federal judge. What motivated you to become a federal prosecutor? What cases are you most proud of? And then what lessons did you take from that time that will help you as a judge, or help you as a judge?
So I think you look to the example of both of my parents, my father was a clinical psychologist after leaving the Army and dedicated his professional life to helping people. My mother was a public school teacher throughout her life, 35 years plus of being a public school teacher. And they instilled that appreciation for public service in me, and I think that's one of the reasons I was driven to pursue that career. As a prosecutor, I respected the case agents that I worked with very much, and the sacrifices that they made, the risks that they had to take to do their job, and I felt it was only fitting that the U.S. attorneys who were working with them, the assistant U.S. attorneys working with them, would also bring the same sense of dedication that they showed. I think there are a lot of lessons that I can take from my time as a prosecutor that will help me as a judge if confirmed. I take those lessons with me to the bench every day, the lessons I learned from the judges in front of whom I practiced, and I hope to be able to emulate all of their great examples when I take the bench.
Thank you. If you are confirmed, you'll be the first Latino on the federal bench in Minnesota. You've been active in Minnesota Hispanic Bar Association, specifically working with young attorneys. Why do you believe that mentoring young attorneys is so important?
Well, because I've experienced the benefits of being mentored myself. I know that as a young attorney, there's a lot of questions that you come to the office with, and it does really help to have someone supportive who can take you under their wing. There's a letter from one of those persons, Erica McDonald, who was someone who I was mentored by as a young AUSA, and was honored to have her support as part of this process. But that's why, because I know personally how meaningful it was for me.
Yeah, I'll note that Erica McDonald was a line prosecutor at the U.S. Attorney's Office, went on to be a state court judge, I believe, and then was the U.S. attorney appointed by the previous administration. So, Judge Bryan, you presided over 8,500 cases as a trial and appellate judge. You've been reversed only 6 times, 4 times on the district court and twice on the Court of Appeals. I'm sure you remember each of them. But nevertheless, your rulings have been upheld 99% of the time. Could you talk about your judicial decision-making and what led you to have that kind of a record?
Well, I, as a judge, have tried to faithfully and objectively apply binding precedent to the issues in front of me, try to understand and frame the issues in a concrete way, but one that allows for application of binding precedent. The few times where I have been reviewed, I welcome it. It's an important, a crucial part of what makes our system of justice consistent and fair. So I'm great. I learn from it every time, and I welcome it whenever it occurs.
Thank you very much. I don't have any other questions.
Thanks, Senator Klobuchar. Senator Kennedy.